How to make a quilt from fabric scraps. Have you ever looked at your fabric scraps and wondered what to do with them? Instead of tossing them away, why not transform them into a beautiful quilt? Making a quilt from fabric scraps is a fun and creative way to recycle materials while crafting something cozy and unique. Let's walk through the steps together. First, gather all your leftover fabric pieces. Take a moment to sort them by color, texture, or size. This organization helps you visualize your quilt and plan its layout. You might be surprised by the variety you have. Next, choose a simple quilt pattern. Simple designs work best for scrap quilts since the pieces can vary in size and shape. Popular patterns include strip quilts, where long strips are sewn together, or patchwork squares made from sewn strips. You can also consider block-based patterns like log cabin or churn dash blocks. Once you have your pattern, it's time to prepare your fabric pieces. Trim your scraps into usable shapes such as strips or squares. For strip quilts, sew strips of different widths and lengths together. You do not need to measure precisely. After sewing, cut these strips into uniform blocks like 7 inches square. This method ensures you use your scraps efficiently. Now let's sew those blocks or strips together. Join them with the right sides facing each other using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Press the seams open or to one side to reduce bulk. If you prefer, you can use the quilt as you go method, which involves sewing strips directly onto batting, building your quilt layer by layer. Once your blocks or strips are ready, arrange them in a pleasing pattern. Sew them together row by row, and then join the rows to complete the quilt top. This is where your creativity shines. Next, add batting and backing. Layer your quilt top with batting, which serves as the insulating middle layer and a backing fabric. Pin or baste these layers together to prevent them from shifting during quilting. Now it's time to quilt the layers. Stitch through all layers to hold them together. You can quilt by hand or machine, following the seams or creating your own pattern. This step adds texture and holds everything in place. Finally, finish your quilt edges with binding strips sewn around the perimeter. This gives your quilt a clean and polished look. Here are some practical tips for scrap quilting. Use a rotary cutter, ruler, and cutting mat for accurate cutting. Press seams carefully to keep your blocks flat. Do not stress about matching all scraps perfectly. The charm of scrap quilts lies in their variety. Reuse small leftover pieces by sewing them into longer strips or smaller blocks. And remember, the quilt-as-you-go technique can save you time and let you handle smaller sections individually. By following these steps, you can turn fabric scraps that might otherwise be discarded into a cozy, unique quilt. This project not only reduces waste but also allows you to express your creativity through fabric and textile upcycling. Happy quilting!